Hello and welcome to the Tool Lending Library at the Smart Building Center, an energy efficiency innovation space for commercial and institutional buildings. Our focus is showcasing where smart meets efficient, and we offer state-of-the-art training and meeting spaces, educational resources such as this training video, and our Tool Lending Library offers a wide spectrum of monitoring and diagnostic tools available for free. So to create an account and check out our tools, go ahead and visit our website at www.smartbuildingscenter.org. So in this demonstration, we'll show how to use a data logger to verify that your fans are not coming on at night after occupied hours when they shouldn't be. So we'll be using a motor logger here. This is the Hobo UX90 motor logger. And I've got my HoboWare software pulled up here on my computer, so I can go ahead and just plug this in using the mini USB port.
Okay, so you can see I have one device connected down here in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. That's the logger we just plugged in. And I'm going to go ahead and click Launch Device. This is in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. This is the icon with the arrow pointing to the right. Okay, and I can go ahead and relaunch this logger, even though the previous data has not yet been read out. That's okay. So I want to make sure that I have a name here that's going to make sense for the file. I want to make sure I have enough battery life. This is over 50%, so we should have enough for the couple of weeks that we'll be logging this supply fan. And then we're going to choose runtime here. Make sure we have a label that will make sense on our graph. You have some options here for what we're measuring. We'll leave it to off on here. And we're not using the external port for this application, but there's that option with these loggers to use an external sensor. And I'm going to go down here and change the logging interval. We'll do every 30 seconds. I can see that I have at least 45 days worth of room on the logger at this interval. And you have options for when to start logging. I'm going to just go ahead and choose log starting now, because we're going right away into the mechanical room to place the logger. You have some other options here. And we can go ahead and just stop logging when the memory fills. So I'm going to click Start. And our logger is ready.
Okay, so now that I have that motor logger configured properly, I can go ahead and disconnect, and we'll head into the mechanical room and see what kind of data we can capture.
So first things first, we'll want to shut down the power to the fan motor that we'll be logging and make sure that the power is completely shut down before opening the cabinet. Okay. In this case, we are monitoring a supply fan. These motor loggers can work for any kind of motor or pump.
There we go.
So after I've verified that the fan is completely shut down, I can open the cabinet, and then I can place my logger. Now these loggers have magnets conveniently built in, so you can stick it right to the fan motor housing, and we should be good to go. We'll leave this in place for at least a couple of weeks so we can get a good picture of what's going on.
Okay, so now I've got this data on my data logger, and I'm just going to go ahead and reconnect back to the computer using the USB port, and I've got my HoboWare software pulled up here. So I'll go ahead and connect that.
All right, you can see I have one device connected here, and that is my Hobo UX90 motor logger. So I'm going to come up to the upper left-hand corner of the screen and click the second button in. This is the Read Out Device button, and it has a little arrow pointing to the left. I'm going to go ahead and just save this data, and then I can plot into a graph. So go ahead and hit plot. Okay, and here I have a nice graph of my data, and you can see here that we have a really regular pattern. This is obviously a constant volume fan. It's either on full 100% or it's off. And so you can see we have 5 days here, very regular pattern. We have a couple of weekends where we have 2 days where the fan is off. Now over here on the left, we have a little bit of an anomaly that looks like the fan was off for a short period of time in the middle of the day, and that could be explained by perhaps a power outage or shutting down the equipment for repairs. You can dig into the data a little further. Up here in the file itself, you can come over to the right and scroll through to look a little more closely at what that anomaly might be, how long the power was actually off, what time in the day. Now you can also export this data to a spreadsheet so that you can take a little closer look and manipulate the data. You do that by going to export table data. So that's a good picture of our supply fan. We can tell that it is indeed running on the correct schedule. It's not coming on in unoccupied hours when it should not be. And that's what we want to see.
Okay, so now we've had a chance to look at that data, and you can see how simple it is to use data loggers to verify that your fans aren't coming on when they should not be, for example, in unoccupied hours at night. And so we can go ahead and disconnect the motor logger here, and be sure to check out the other videos in this training series and visit our website at www.smartbuildingcenter.org. Thanks for watching.